Hey, what it do, man? It's your boy Young Fee, live in this motherfucker with my dog Gmo. Welcome to the Bounce Back Podcast. Live at the bodega. If you haven't checked it out, they got all the exotic snacks, drinks, smoke, stuff, whatever you can get to. Check them out. Live on Central.
Central and Camelback. Come check it out, man.
But, man, it's always good. We do another episode. Shout out to the homie BRIMZ, man. He's been the homie for a long time, man. If you don't know, now you know. Make sure you check him out. Where can they find you on Instagram? Just so they know.
BRIMZ_CEO.
That's what it is, man. So make sure you follow him. But, man, I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. I know you've been doing shows with us for a long time.
And that was gonna be my first question, bro. What was the first show that we did when we first linked up? Do you remember?
Man, we did so many, man.
And that's what I was thinking about this morning.
The one that sticks out for me is Burner.
That's the one.
Burner sticks out for me because we had a good time.
But I know you did some shows in Avondale with us too, for sure.
I came down to Avondale, yup.
Now, people that don't know, let them know a little bit about yourself, what you do, where you're from, where you originate,
Pretty much BRIMZ, I grew up on the West Valley of Phoenix, you know what I'm saying? I was born in California, though.
Okay.
I was born in California and pretty much just grew up out here.
When did you come out here from California?
I want to say like fourth grade. It was like fourth grade. Like I was definitely raised out here.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But the reason I'm pondering is because I kind of was stuck in Maryville for so long.
Yeah.
Is that where you went to school at?
I did. I went to like Harris and Borman.
Yeah.
And then there's Maryville High School.
Gotcha.
So I was kind of stuck in that area for a minute. So
shout out to Maryville, man.
Shout out to Maryville. Maryville's like it's definitely in the heart.
Yes, sir. We fuck with Maryville for sure. Matter of fact, we just did homie from Working Class. He's from Maryville, and he went to the Love Night too. And then we just did John Moraga and shit. And he's from Maryville too. We fuck with Maryville with some of my cousins and shit. So, how long you been doing music? Was that some shit you were doing when you were growing up, or like busting freestyles, like how we kind of started doing it, or it just came about, or?
Yeah. It was kind of like you remember the battling?
Yeah.
There was a lot of battling, so freestyling and just clowning each other and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it just got more serious,
Got you.
Started really, hurting people's feelings, like shit like that.
So when you first came up, you were more of like a battling artist than just like a regular music artist making music and all that.
Yeah, I was more just like a battle rapper.
I think all of us, even me. Remember when I first started, I was kind of like not battle rapper, but everybody would like not necessarily talk shit about the dude, but we freestyled in a circle type shit, and we just went in. Like remember when I first started rapping, it was kind of like that too,
So let me ask you this: like, when did you transition from like battle rapping into like actually making music and making songs? Because I've also known to where like I've known some battle rappers to where they're super dope. They're very talented at fucking battle rapping, right?
Yeah.
But then when it comes to actually making like just a song or a dope song or making dope music, it doesn't transition the same as good as they are in battle rapping.
That's
you get
true.
what I'm saying?
No, very true.
So when did you were like switch it up and be like, you know what? Now I want to start actually making music instead of just fucking the battle rapping shit. When did that transition for you?
Yeah, I want to say like 2009.
Okay.
It was like we all were doing mixtapes, like
Gotcha.
we all had CDs and shit,
So you came up in that era too.
Oh no, for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely like the era, with the whole like popping, selling shit out the trunk.
I was just gonna say
all
that selling CDs out the
That's
trunk.
how we did, man. I ain't gonna lie. Those were the days where you could literally make money off of music every day, everywhere you went. Fucking, man. Hey, you want to buy my CD? $10. Fuck it, give me 5 then. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we ran it.
Tickets, like ticket sales. We would kill it with the ticket sales.
Oh yeah.
I think that's hard because a lot of these up and coming rappers, they don't really have, not all of them, I can't speak for all of them, but some of them, they don't have the grind, bro. They have the presence, where they look popular and they may be popular on social media, but then to transition the popularity into ticket sales, it's a whole nother monster itself. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
So some of them, like, I've noticed that like they talk a big game, but then when it comes down to the actually hustling part and putting in the footwork, it doesn't match you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
has that ever been a problem for you as far as like when you were coming up, like fucking selling shit and all that? Where was it hard? Was it fucking? Did you hit your little trials and tribulations with that shit? Or
I think yeah, sometimes, but for the most part, because it was so in style that if you were good at hustling, you're set.
It's kind of just secondhand nature.
It was like, easy for me. I don't want to be too like cocky about it, but it was real easy, man. Like now it's hard, now it's a little difficult.
Yes.
But man,
I agree with you on that, because I think we were in the same boat. Like, because we were always in the streets, fucking,
for sure,
selling teas, selling, merch, or selling this. We were just good salesmen at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was just transitioning. Instead of selling T-shirts, now we're selling tickets, or instead of selling CDs, now we're selling something else, or we would incorporate them. Hey, dog, buy this CD.
Mix it up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, buy this CD and ticket. We'll give it to you. It's, normal cost is $50 for both or whatnot. So we'll give them to you for 2 for $30. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 for this, and next thing you know, we just sold 30 of them that day. 30 pairs, or like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
no, real
like,
shit.
Real
we even used to do like, I'd have a shirt, he'd have a shirt, I have an album, he have an album. Buy the whole pack. Each one's $10, but fucking, with us, you'll get it all for 50 or so. Like, we would do it like that, and that's how we funded a lot of our music. To be honest, you know what I mean?
Because people don't understand, bro. Like, back in the day, like, there was a lot of money being made off of CD sales. That, like, when people didn't really think about it, because, like, printing your own CD, though, depending on how many you got and how you did it, like whether if it was in the slim case or the jewel case or fucking. You're getting them at like $1.50, depending on whether if you buy 1,000 or 2,000, 5,000, you know what I'm saying? You give it even cheaper the more you buy. So if you're turning around and selling these CDs for 10, 15, even $20 at the time, whatever you're popping them off at, you're making good money. And then if you sell, you're selling them by the 50s and hundreds, over a week, 2-week period, bro, that's in the thousands. Like, so people don't really like sit back because they've never really kind of been in that position, or they never really, so they don't see it like that.
Sell 1,000 CDs at $10. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, we made a lot of money when we were coming up selling CDs, because one, we had a catalog. There was fucking
10 CDs.
So people don't, they don't really understand that part of that side, or maybe they didn't come up in that hustle. Now they're a new age artist to where it's all digital.
Yeah,
it's all fucking.
Was that hard for you to switch over? Like, because it was for us, to be honest, like to get, I mean, obviously we're all internet savvy, but get more savvy with that type shit, because obviously the kids want to see the motion now every day. You don't drop some shit for a day. The kids get boring now these days, the younger ones. Now, before we would drop an album and let the album float for 3 months, there ain't no way you could do that now out here. You got to hit them with some every day, every other day. Yeah. Is that hard something for you to adapt with, since you're still, foot in with the music and shit, or?
Yeah, for sure. No, I think it was hard for all of us. We had to get with like what was going on. Yeah. So I mean, but it's so much little features now. They let you boost your shit, and you just gotta attack it a different way.
That's what I'm saying. Felt like it transitioned from like being in the streets and doing it the street way to now it's like social media way and boosting your post, like you said, or getting somebody to repost it for you that has a lot of followers, or that has a lot of motion.
I would remember like low key, we would be doing music, we have motion, and someone would hit us on like MySpace.
Okay.
And that's how old it was. But they would be like, hey, I want a verse. You know what I'm saying? But we were like, we were so happy that like, damn, this fool from Tucson wants a verse from us?
No, he was serious.
And we're charging him $300? Like,
he was serious.
What? But we didn't have like Zelle or Cash App, or so they said, hey, we're going to drive to Phoenix and we want to fuck with that. We built a relationship. But that shit kind of tripped us out, because now I could put something on the internet and you could see it in Japan or New York. And now when Arizona, you couldn't. We would be like shocked, like, damn. Look at this, bro. Some dude really wants a verse from us, and he's from Tucson, or he's from Southside Phoenix, and that's how we just started. And then we would go and record it. We didn't have no texting or none. We just go pull up on them, chill, and make, and then, you know what I'm saying, put some in the air and vibe. And you would see the little, like the square dudes that you're like, man, I ain't fucking with this dude. But like, you would just see the realness out of people. Go pull up to someone else's hood, because there wasn't really a lot of like studios to go pull up on, like necessarily at those days. So it would be like a house studio, and it would be dope. It was different, you know what I mean?
Sure, most definitely.
Now with the studio, ask, where's the first studio you recorded out of? Since you're AZ.
In Arizona, it was Brian for sure.
Was that out of his house?
Out of his house.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
Like, we recorded.
Not too many people know about that, dog. Not too many people know about Brian when he was first recording out of his house, dog.
Like, I feel like there's pioneers. There's pioneers in Arizona, but unfortunately, like these younger kids came and you know they feel like they're the pioneers, you know, because they're internet savvy, you know.
I feel like,
but
Brian,
I know who it is. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Brian's one of the best engineers out here. He gives you a very comfortable spot to record out of. He's not complaining if you bring people in and fucking making noise. He's not doing it. Like he's just working, and I give that to him. He's not always. I go in there and eat food, and they don't complain. Like he's just a good dude. I always like recording at Brian's. You know what I'm saying? I really have, because it's just a dope studio. You know what I'm saying?
But one thing I could say about BRIMZ, what he just had said right now, as far as like the pioneers of Arizona, and then you know with the younger generation coming up, and the younger generation not really respecting the pioneers of that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's one of Arizona's biggest problems.
That's a fact.
Like when you go to different states and you have other pioneers, or you have fools that are on, whether if they like that fool or not, they still respect. They're still the, hey, yeah, dog, that's the OG. Like he's been doing, she did. You know what I'm saying? To where like,
man, we would go to, my bad to cut you out. We would go to Houston and they fucking they'd be putting us onto a rapper that's like 50 years old. We never knew him. They're like, nah. In his heyday, he was that guy. Like he was like fucking with Screw and shit, and that's. Like, they wouldn't do that in other cities. They don't put on for sometimes like that out here, you know?
I feel like, and I think that's Arizona's biggest problem, bro. I feel like it's just the crab in the bucket mentality. Nobody's really on to be like, to look up to and be like, oh, dog, I want to be like him, or, you know what I'm saying, or this or that. And it's like everybody's trying to fucking put everybody down to fucking put themselves up. You know what I'm saying? And I just think that's hella whack, bro. Like, it almost, in a sense, it's very like what's the word I'm trying to say? Discouraging to even want to do music, or to continue to even like, but also in the same sense, it's like they say like you got to leave your state to go out and get loved by others to come back to make your own state love you, in a sense. Does that make sense? You know?
Yeah. No, for sure, it's true.
And so like it's just one of them things, you know. It sucks, but if you're gonna do music, you just got to be at least do music in Arizona. Be ready for that. Yeah, like, you know, and don't take it personal. You know what I'm saying?
Did you build did you record a lot in Vegas when you were out there? You said you were out of town, like out there. Would you were recording out there a lot?
No, for sure. Yeah, I was. I think Vegas, you know, just long story short, it has its own community of music, hip hop.
You fuck with, you know who So Gotti is?
Shout out So Gotti. He's from out there. He's got a dope studio and shit out there, right?
Yeah, I think I heard of him. But I didn't know him personally. It rings a bell though.
He's a Las Vegas native. I think he's born and raised there. He has a like official studio out there. Fucking, he's moving and grooving. He's doing his thing. I just wanted to ask because you said you were from Vegas too. You're doing music, so I didn't know if you guys.
He came out here for the Lefty Gunplay when we brought the Lefty Gunplay out, and then we kind of just built a relationship with him. And dude's a cool dude. So if I go to Vegas, he'd be definitely somewhere.
How was that for y'all? You guys like that little outcome?
The what?
The Lefty Gunplay.
It was a business move. At the end of the day, we got a lot of shit for it because if people who don't know, Avondale is more of a norteño side of things. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
There is, you know, Southsiders, Soreño, whatever you want to call them, but more of the red. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? We've never really been too involved in gangs. That just wasn't our thing, you know?
For sure.
More of just, you know, money getters. But at the end of the day, like, we not associate, but we know them. It's just not even like fucking on the gang shit. Just we grew up with them at school and know these people. And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we did do that, we got a lot of shit for it. Like, DMs every day. Hating on anytime we posted the flyer. Man, that fool's whack. Why you bring that fucking crab out here, or bring that this or that, or you know what I'm saying? Like, and so like, but also at the same sense, it was a business move. Now on the business side of it, we won.
It was a hit.
It was a home run. But also on, you know what I'm saying? I think that's just sometimes you got to know like where to draw the line. You know what I'm saying? And where to keep it business, and then where to keep it, you know, in the streets, or you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
So but it was dope. It was dope. I like it.
Yeah, it was a power move. And shit, at the end of the day, I'll do it again. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking if it made sense. I think that's just why we've always been successful with the shows, is just that knowing what makes sense and what doesn't. What adds up, what doesn't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times when you're doing these shows, if you don't put a lot of shit into perspective, that's where shit can go wrong for you.
No,
that's where it don't sell, or it's, you know, other shows out there at the time, or if there's something going on in the city at the same time you're doing yours that's in the same realm or categories of what you're doing. Like, there's a lot of boxes that check off
Right.
That you got to make sure that shit adds up to where, and if it does, and shit can go, shit usually majority of the time goes right. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
So like it's cool, bro. Like it's one of them things, but shit, you know,
that's what's up.
So let me ask you this, just stepping off subject, fuck, you know, all of us, we all wear jewelry and all that shit. I see you got your piece on and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, I see you've been rocking other shit too. Who do you get your shit done through, and who do you get it made by? And
Capri.
You go through Capri?
Yeah, I go through Capri, man.
Frost?
Shout out Frost.
Foz, right?
Yeah, Frost. Nah, he's got the dope shit, man. That's just, I see it shining, man. I see it.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
your record label, or what is that? That's your...
I was going to ask you, what's G2M stand for?
G2M stands for Get to the Money.
Okay.
Yeah, that.
Yep, it's definitely a record label, like a brand.
Yeah.
You know?
You have any artists under you right now, or is it just you right now?
Me,
just
man.
you right now
It's
pushing
just
it?
me.
Got you.
I had a couple good runs, but you know I haven't got lucky yet.
Yeah.
But
no,
I got a plan though for sure. So I should be all right.
No, I see you grinding. I see you just dropped a new video, right?
Just dropped some new shit.
Who shot that?
Yeah. Damn, man, I'm not too familiar with his name. I kind of just ran into him.
Was he out here, Arizona cat?
It was in Arizona. Yeah.
Is he one of the newer up and coming videographers?
I think so. I think he's like somebody's like friend, you know, like somebody brought him to the shoot, you know.
There's a lot of upcoming.
I like this hustle though, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of upcoming videographers right now that, like, when we kind of slowed down shooting videos and doing the music shit, that these fools were started blowing up more, like, you know, to where, like, you know, not the Cores and not the fucking, you know, the Audis and other people that were doing videos when we were doing it. Now it's, you know, you got the H2O Wally and fucking other fools that I know that we haven't fucked with yet. That we're like, all these next videos I'm going to shoot, I want to fuck with these fools. Like, I want to fuck with these, like, they're putting out dope shit, you know what I'm saying?
No, for sure.
Shout out to them fools, man.
No, I agree with that. I agree with the video, with the whole, like, the videographer, you know, he blows up the artist, man. The artist blows up the videographer. So, you know, like...
Well, and if the videographer's not hungry, you know what I'm saying? He's going to give you the basic work. And sometimes I think we're at the stage in our careers that we don't ever want no basic stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? We want it outside of the box. So I think sometimes we just need it to be top tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, what's your ethnic background? I know you speak Spanish and shit. I was hearing like, are you full Mexican?
Yeah, I'm pretty fluent. Yeah, I'm full Mexican.
Because some people get it twisted with the braids and shit.
I said it like that because for a while I was like, I don't know what the fuck I was.
No, when I first met you,
you know, like
when I first met you, I thought you were like mixed or something like that. And then just because the braids always throw it off.
Nah, even just look, if I could guess, I would have thought he was half white, half Mexican.
Right.
Because that's what I am. Like, I'm half white, half Mexican.
You guys do got like the red beard.
I remember G-Mo used to get that a lot too. We don't know what the fuck he was either. Like what?
Not people ask me what is this guy?
This is my brother from another mother.
You know what I'm saying?
Dog.
No, that's cool, yeah.
My twin, man.
Yeah. People don't know, man. Like, and sometimes I trip out because I see you speak Spanish and shit, and I'm like, hell yeah, it's dope.
Fluent, yeah.
No, and it's weird. Like me growing up, like I'm not gonna lie, like it's weird because I like Mexican music. And I'm not gonna lie.
I love it.
But like, you know, 10, 15 years ago, I wasn't liking it so much because the shit that my pops and them listened to, it would get older. The new stuff, the newer style is like
East Coast shit.
So it kind of catches up. My Spanish right now, don't get me wrong, it's cool, but it's not as good as it should be. So when I go back to Mexico, I don't like to speak Spanish because they're gonna make fun of this. Is how we do it. But over here, I feel comfortable to speak it. It's just there now. I want to like brush it up. That's how it used to be.
I hate it, bro. I fucked up because coming up, like my nana, like I was around her a lot. And she used to speak Spanish all the time, and I never took the time to learn it. You know what I'm saying? She spoke English
kids
too.
Speak Spanish?
I'm trying to, you know, talk to them in Spanish as much as I can, but I just.
My son, he don't know none. He's 17. He knows a little bit, but my little daughter, she knows Spanish like half of that.
My oldest daughter, she could pick it up, you know.
Yeah, my little daughter's 4,
son, I'm trying to get on his head.
She says most things. She'll say something, and then the English word. You know what I'm saying, or vice versa, English and then the Spanish word. So she's catching on, but she's not fluent. But she will be at least by 10 or something. You know, I would hope.
Let me ask you this: what do you got coming up as far as music wise and all that shit? Like, you know, if somebody's that's tuning into this right now that's never heard of you and they want to go look up your newest video and all that shit, where would they go to as far as like on YouTube and
all that? Yeah, I think when you just type in BRIMZ, like BRIMZ, like it's real. It comes up quick. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
I don't know if it's like because we've been doing it for so long. Like that's what I mean. Like when I say the pioneers, like you know, I know who's really out there hustling and getting to it. So I feel like sometimes I feel like my presence alone, just being in the right place at the right time, somebody will recognize me. You feel me? Because I was really outside like that, you know. But on social media, it's the same thing. It's just like it's just BRIMZ, and then it pops up right away. You know, there's this boutique in New York. It refers to as like hats and stuff. So he pops up too, but I'm the only like rapper.
I was gonna say I don't think there's any other rapper around that's BRIMZ that you know what I'm saying. So that's a good thing though.
That's a good thing. That's what I mean.
Nowadays
like,
you got 40 babies and this and that.
That's what I'm telling you, man.
Like, nah, even me, I want to take off the young off from my shit.
Take the young
and
off,
I can't because I'm so old. But like I'm like, man, I ain't young. And if I drop some shit, the first thing will say, oh, young fee, motherfucker ain't young. Like, but when I try to take my name off it, my shit's already just trademarked and everything. That if when I uploaded it, it wasn't uploading right. So I had to make like 2 separate accounts to get the paper because one was fee, one was under young fee. I just said, man, fuck that. Just put it as under young fee. So I could just, if you're gonna have to literally go look for fee or young fee music. Like I don't want to do that, so I just kept it as it is. But it's just like, man, fuck, you know. But that's what it is. It's like the algorithm. You want to keep moving. You know what I mean? How do your kids feel about you doing music? I know your daughter's a little older. Like my son, they kind of say like we're the old heads and shit. Is that how they tell you? Like,
bro,
Pops, chill out, put the chain away, man.
Bro,
like you know,
my daughter, bro, she goes to Avondale. You know, she goes to Avondale High School to La Jolla. I went to La Jolla too. You know.
Yeah.
Bro, they call her Little BRIMZ, man. You know, she even has these kids that come up to her and sing my lyrics to her, and you know, and it's fun, man. It's fun, bro, because you know, it motivates me to show her to never quit. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever you do, baby, like just don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't matter if nothing else matters. You know, just don't be a quitter. You know what I'm saying? So
sure.
That's how I take it. You know,
it's a fine line to walk, bro, because it's like when you go and and you're with the other parents from the kids from the school, and they're like, hey, so what do? You know, I'm a rapper. Like,
it's hard to say.
I'm an entrepreneur, dog. I run a studio. I fucking been doing music for fucking 20 years. I throw shows. I do this. I do that. So I throw it off like, you know what I'm saying? And being like, it comes off almost as like embarrassing. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just because it's just how it is. Like, but like, you know, and at least we're a little successful. So it's like,
it's the truth.
It's the truth. But then people like, that don't understand that, or that don't like, they automatically like look down on it. Like you're not as good as them, or like not even knowing how successful or how much money you have or how much of what you've done. You know, all these accomplishments of people that, you know what I'm saying, and they still it gets looked down on. Like, you know what I'm saying? To where,
for sure, I agree.
And I'm not thinking of that for me. I'm thinking of that as for my daughter and my son and how they're going to be treated. Because of that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's very true.
So that's where I don't know. It's like a thin line to walk as far as like, you know, until you're on, you know, fucking making millions off of your music and all that, then to be like, man, fuck, I'm a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? The whole shit. But then.
No, that's real.
So I don't know. I guess there was like, I've been on both sides where it's like, this is who I am and I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, I give a fuck for my daughter and you know how she's treated or how she's looked at. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It happens with me because I own a tile company. Like when I do construction, people notice me shit to like, I don't know if that was you, Fee. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm a real dude. Like we just normal people. We just work, and that's just what it is. Like, you know what I'm saying? But we're entrepreneurs. That's what we do. We don't. The multiple companies and multiple hustles that, you know, draining the money for the kids.
We've been talking about like starting another business, bro. Like we really want to open up like a food truck or like a restaurant or like, you know what I'm saying? But you got to learn to crawl before you just want to jump in and do something. But like I'm the type to where like I don't give a fuck, dog. Like if I start a restaurant, I'm gonna be in the back smashing burgers and fucking on the front line with you know what I'm saying? And me running that motherfucker until it gets to a certain spot. To when then we're having other people in there and we can kind of play the background a little bit. But I don't give a fuck.
No, I mean, shit. We chop it up more like fucking. I know you got your businesses going on. You want to, touching on any of those businesses you got going on?
I'm more of a private investor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm definitely I got my hands in the pot already. You know.
Yeah.
What's something that you can speak on it that you, let's say that you, one of your most recent investments that brings you in and that keeps you afloat and that helps the BRIMZ, fucking keep going.
I would say, mobile detailing.
Okay.
Just to keep it.
Yeah.
That's a big business. That's also a hard business too. That's like doing the food truck shit.
Yeah,
There's
it's hard.
fucking
It's
a million food trucks.
but you got to stay. Yeah, you got to stick out and fucking.
But as long as you're out there grinding and you're out, putting constantly promoting yourself and learning how to promote yourself in certain ways or knowing when and where to promote yourself, I think that's key to it.
For
you know
sure.
what I'm saying? Like, but
that's
dope.
That's
though.
real.
That's dope. Real. I like the mobile shit just because I wash my cars all the fucking time. Mm-hmm. Like I'd wash my car maybe once or fucking every like couple of days where I'm getting that motherfucker washed, inside details, the fucking tires fucking shine. And
now with just the detail alone, like the homie that comes and does the cars, they fucking charge like 100 or 75.
Oh, that's the low end.
Like, you know what I mean? And
there's some fools that they got fucking 250 like category. They're like 250, 350. I'm like, don't get me wrong. I want to clean my shit. I like my it's like haircuts. Like the most I want to pay is $50, dog. Like
to 120 is
that's what I think $100 is like the fucking the sweet spot.
No, but it's like times are changing. Like he was about to say about the haircuts. Like man, some barbers are hitting 75. With the braids. After we get our hair braided and the cut, I'm at like 150. Like, and I'm like, and I didn't even hit out. I didn't even touch the bar yet. Just for the hair to be good. And I ain't even talking about the fit. And I'm like, I feel like a female. Fuck this shit. I'm
so in house with everything. I think that's the key to everything. Is just keeping everything in house. You know what I'm saying?
Cut everything down to a minimal. And I learned that just with my own business, just to
then keeping it private. Like that's something I would like to say. Like try to be as private as you can because a lot of people, it's not even called hate no more. They want to see you fail. You feel me?
Right.
But I remember dealing with the haters. The haters, it was a part of being who you are,
Yeah.
But when people would just want you to fail, like that's something different,
Yeah.
So just keep everything private and try to tell as least as like stay out of be in the background as much as you can.
That's kind of what I've transitioned into, bro. Like me and Fee always talk about. Like, don't get me wrong, you got to put yourself out there, you got to promote yourself, but at the same time, like if from what I show on my Instagram or my social media compared to real life, you're only getting about 1.5–2% of what you see Gmo doing. The other 98.5% is private.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people to fucking know.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Even blessings. Like even when you're getting a blessing, say you just got a new car or you're just doing this and everybody, first thing you want to do is go fucking post it on the gram. I don't tell nobody. I don't want nobody to know that I got this new car. I don't want nobody to know what I'm driving. I don't want nobody to like, you know what I'm saying? I become like real, like
that's real.
You know what I'm saying? And the old me 10 years ago would have been, oh, look at this and next pic inside of my car driving and
whatever,
next, you know what I'm saying? Going to buy rims and fucking now it's just like I don't know. And don't get me wrong, like it could be cool. Some people see that and be like, oh shit, like and make boost your fucking. But at the end of the day, I just like you know what I'm saying, like.
Man.
I agree.
I think there's just a fine line to walk. Like some shit you do. There's certain things you do that with, and then the other, it's like keep your personal life personal. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like if you let everybody know your next play, then that next play ain't gonna be that play.
And then these people are doing it.
Or then next
they're doing it.
Let's say not every shit you put into motion don't always come. I could say, hey man, I ain't gonna lie, I got this fucking new drink. It's gonna make you lose 100 pounds if you drink one, and then it doesn't. You post, let everybody know that, then it don't really come in. They don't make you lose no weight, and they say, "See, man, that shit ain't gonna make you lose weight." Like, nah, keep that shit to yourself and be like, "Hey, man, I got a business thing I'm going," and keep
till
it
a year in, and you done made 30 people lose weight, and this and that, and now it's booming. Now it's you got results.
Put the work in,
Then you fucking take a picture of it and talk about it, or start promoting it here and there and whatnot. But I agree though, like I feel like you got to build it organically. Let it, fucking sizzle and bubble over fucking months, weeks, days, months, weeks, period at a time. And then go from there. And because I feel like sometimes when you talk about the blessing too early,
that's it right there.
You almost curse it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Where like you fucking
speak it into existence, but not too crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and kind of keep
I would
it
say
to
it's a
yourself.
spiritual thing. So not everyone's gonna agree with us, but we agree though. Like, it's a spiritual thing. Like,
yes,
you know,
whether praying, whether manifesting, however,
all those things.
Yeah, however.
Energies.
But I 100% agree with that, and I believe in that.
Me too.
You know, I believe in God. I believe in the energy. You know, reading people's energies, like just.
You have
a lot of that shit, bro. And I'm a firm believer in that shit, bro.
Me too.
I really do. Like I straight up. Like I think
right there with you.
sometimes people I tell people about that sometimes, and I could tell like sometimes they're like,
yeah,
man, this fool.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
like it's like they think you're lying. You did something different.
Or no, it sounds like I'm on some bullshit. Like it reminds me of the scene from Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, I was just about to say,
the sun, moon, quasars, and all.
Elroy Jets and shit. Chill out. You know.
All jokes aside, though, I really, really do believe in that, and I think that's true.
I just was telling my homie not too long ago because he's kind of going through his little, trials and tribulations, and I'm like, bro, I know it sounds like I'm getting old, but low key, the gym, fucking church. Meditating, that shit really helps you out mentally, like physically and spiritually, like just to clear your mind and like to like, we all smoke, we all drink, we all party, we all do whatever we do, but like at the end of the day, you got to ground yourself type of shit with that. And if you don't got that little clarity or knowing it seems like your shit's just all over the place. You got to get that ground. And I've been trying to tell my homie kind of just pray.
Like, it's like back to the basics now. Like
back
you know how like you start off and it's like it's the basics. You work yourself up. Now you're doing all this cool shit. Well, now we're getting older. All that cool shit starting to catch up to you. Yeah. And it's like now it's back to the basics now again, bro. Now it's back to just taking care of yourself, fucking making sure your family's straight, like before you go off and do all this other crazy shit again. You know what I'm saying?
Like, for sure.
Shit. Now, I know like we've been doing it out here for a minute. Is there any new artists out here you like, Arizona-wise, that you see? I see a lot of people moving.
I was going to ask them that. Like, who do you fuck with? Like, people that you've seen that are coming up now that are like popped off in the past couple of years that like 5-10 years ago these fools weren't even around or anything like.
Man, it's a lot of youngsters. I like.
For sure.
Man, I don't want to say no names, because I'm not that into them.
Yeah.
And but I like the young artists.
Yeah.
I like their hustle.
I do. I still do. Like I'm not one of those.
Well, it's a lot of them, So I don't want to just start naming, and then I don't know the names yet.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm gonna say for me, I like the young. I want to work with the young artists.
Yeah,
I'll say like that. Like I want to work with them.
Me too.
I want them to.
How do you feel?
I feel like they need to work with us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's what I was just about to say. So
like,
how would you feel if you wanted to work with this young artist that you like?
Yeah.
But then he don't want to work with you, or he don't like you,
or he wants to charge me, huh?
Yeah,
how about that?
Because I've been in that predicament, dog.
Like man, 350.
These younger artists who are, they're buzzing right now. They're maybe the most popular in the city, right? And it's like I hit them like on some, hey, I want to get a track with y'all. I think it'd fuck the city up, with what I could bring to the table. Which, all right, cool. Yeah, we want $1,000, and I'm like, all right, cool, motherfucker. That's what I charge too. I charge $15. But like at the end of the day, like
right, bro.
And I was just talking about with the homie, like sometimes like you fuck up by putting money up front first, and in the way of what could have been a dope ass blessing for both parties.
And then sometimes I still try to take it those because when we were young too, though we were that way. He didn't want to move for a certain something, and I would always. And so it was hard
to a certain extent though, because if this person was moving or this person was doing some shit to where it could benefit me as well too, then I would be with it. I wouldn't always it wasn't just always about the money.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? I always think like that too, where it's like
relationships.
Yeah, like if the relationship or maybe this person got a plug that we can use these plugs that can help us on another area to where it's like let's set the money. Let's put the money to the side and let's make this move happen because it's going to be beneficial down the line for all of us type shit. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of that sometimes gets pushed to the side now where everybody's just like, it's the popularity and it's about the money and it's about to where it's like, and I see a lot where they're just
I get it because the money does make the world go round, but sometimes it's got to make sense or it's got to be beneficial for both sides or whatever, Yeah.
I
always like to ask the artist, who's your favorite rapper, like in general?
just in like.
Who are you listening to right now? Like when you get in your car.
Both. Who do you listen to right now, and then who's your favorite rapper of just all time? Like
my favorite rapper is it's an easy one. It's Eminem. You know, like
that's weird. I wouldn't think it would be Eminem
yeah,
either. You know
that's my favorite rapper, bro. Like
I get it. He puts on.
Yeah. That's man. You guys, I don't know how do y'all feel about Eminem? By the way,
you don't understand. At that time,
I don't like Eminem. I'll be real. It's weird.
Like that's
when Eminem
you don't
first,
like him.
Crazy.
No,
he's
all
in the interview.
Everything on the floor.
My brother,
but it's okay. It's all right.
It was crazy because even them, they were saying like they were talking about Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was garbage and shit, and I'm just like, I was kind of like in shock. I'm
that shit pissed me off.
I was like, there's no way they're talking about Jay-Z. And I'm like, wait,
that shit pissed me off.
Bring him in.
You better put more respect on Jay-Z's name, dog.
But like Eminem, I feel like I don't want to say he's the most overrated, but I just feel like I just never been a big
rapper.
rapper.
You feel like everyone's gonna say that.
And I just like Eminem.
Hold on.
I like the old freestyle shit.
Hold on. Okay, so look. Now, the Eminem now, the shit he's dropping now, okay, I get it. Not the biggest fan.
But the old shit was dope.
I'm talking like the Eminem before he got signed, like when he was fucking freestyling and dropping these freestyles everywhere that we were downloading off of fucking LimeWire and fucking. But I'm talking like the Slim Shady LP. That was
hard. I'll give him that. That was hard as fuck.
Top 10 albums of all time. That's one of them. That's in one of them. I hands down. I'll argue with that till the day I die, bro.
No, for sure.
That fucking album from beginning till end. There's maybe like one or two songs on there that you skip through, but everything else is a fucking.
That one was banging.
It's a masterpiece, dog.
And I think Dre's the one who did that joint. I think Dre produced the whole
too.
Eminem, yeah.
But Eminem himself, he's fucking crazy, dog. Like as far as just the freestyle, the fucking just the wordplay. Sometimes, and don't get me wrong, sometimes it's a little too much.
Yeah.
Like you can't put out some new Eminem where he's going all crazy and like that's some shit to ride to. Like.
It's not.
But on the masterpiece side of just fucking being
lyric-wise too, he's dope.
He's untouchable, dog. Like he's one of them ones up there where he's fucking like.
Who do you listen to now? Now, if you were to bump your shit
now, I try I try to listen to like whatever mode I'm in, because
whatever's inspiring to you. And
music
I'm the same way.
Very influential, way more than we might have thought.
I'm the same way.
I know I didn't know this was this influential.
It's weird because now I catch myself like when I barbecue, I don't listen to no rap. It's like I already know my playlist. I'm going to oldies and I'm going to Mexican music and I'm going into like
I like listening to corridos.
And I'm going into like funk music, 80s that my parents listened to, and I'm like, damn, I'm getting old. Where like when I hear my son, he and he plays the drill shit, the new shit, he likes it, but I'm like, hey, that ain't it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't the mood.
You're
I'm
not
like,
old now. What the fuck?
Turn that shit. He's like, oh, this the new shit, Bob. Like you don't know, and I'm like, nah, that ain't it. Like that ain't it.
The same shit your dad did when you put on Jay-Z and shit,
dog. Man, like
I feel like this level of old. It's only in this era. Like, we're not old. I'm not saying we old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what I mean? Like, this old didn't exist. Like, I bet you even our parents and shit, they was like 30. It was crazy,
Yeah.
But right here, we really gotta chill. Like, so it makes it seem like we're old, because we're disciplined and we got structure.
No, I wouldn't say it's old. It's more of the mature. Like it's more of the mature. Yeah. I don't want to say we're old head yet. To be honest,
hold on, man, BRIMZ down.
I'm kidding. I know I'm old, but I ain't my
30s, man. Your old ass.
No, it's crazy because sometimes I catch myself maybe talking to some like female. She's younger, like 27, 26, and I feel old, and I'm like. Oh, you're almost got here closer to my son's age. You know what I'm saying? Then you're really to me. It's like
you still on the scene.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when I fuck with the young girls, it's like it's weird. Like you know what I'm saying? But I'm an old head, but I'm really not an old head. Like
he's still out there knocking them
down. Not even like that. But
I didn't mean to bring it out.
But
I mean, watch out for Fee, man.
Not even. But I'm just saying it's a trip that I feel like sometimes I'm old.
She's 24 through 34. She around Fee. You better hide her. You better hide her.
Watch out. Maybe in 40. Watch out for even a little 40. You ever try to jump into doing Spanish in the rapping or no?
Yeah. I'm actually in the process of doing that right now. Like I think I'm on like my third song.
That's smart.
It's straight Spanish, and then I got another one where it's Spanish and then I put a little English in it. You know,
going back and forth.
Yeah,
I remember I did a song with.
It sounds like fucking 3 different people on the song.
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
that's tight though.
That's tight.
That's
no,
tight.
I did one with
Very
Rich
versatile.
Rico like so long ago, bro, and it was called Chapo, and it's dope. But I never put it out because I felt like my Spanish in there was like. If my cousins heard it, they would be like,
they'd make fun of you.
Because I sound
Yeah.
my Spanglish isn't right there. Like it's not like that. It's good, but it's just not there. And I'm like, nah. But I just like, damn, right now this would be a hit
you
right
know
now,
who,
man.
who
like,
did that back in the day? That when I heard that shit, I was just blown away. With it was like Chingo Bling and that full ICE or IC or whatever.
Bling. Shout out to Chingo Bling.
Chingo Bling and IC had a song together where they were fucking rapping back and forth, and like Chingo was rapping in English, and then IC was rapping in Spanish, and then they went back and forth, and then Chingo started rapping in Spanish, and IC was kind of rapping in like English, Spanish, and I was just like in awe, bro. That shit was so fucking hard,
back
bro.
in the day, they were
the
first ones.
Time.
Yeah,
like,
even South
before
Park,
that shit was
Baby
popular.
Bash,
like,
been doing it.
Yeah, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think that shit was only a matter of time before that shit really like blew up and like.
Well, and I never I'll be honest. Even though we're closer to LA, I never liked LA Chicano rap. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was never a big fan.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? But I like.
Eat a fuck up,
No,
dog.
Check that out.
No, not even, bruh. I can like my own music because I fuck nah. But ask them. Hey,
You're done.
We're done.
Stick a fork in him, dog.
Shout out to the homie Capone and everybody. They fuck with us. Capone fucks with us. I just, me myself, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't grow up bumping that. The Mexicans that we did grow up to were all the ones from like Texas, which was South Park, Baby Bash. Well, Baby Bash is from Cali.
I think what he was trying to say is that not that he didn't like it, not that we didn't fuck with it. It was just like the Chicano like essay rap.
Yeah,
like,
we weren't.
It was more like
we weren't essays. We were more like
not to knock it, not to put it down or anything, because those fools are still successful. Like those fools that were doing it,
Rob, Capone.
Yeah, those fools they have their lane, they have their shit. It's just just because we didn't bump it, we just gravitated towards a little bit more different shit.
Yeah.
Like
still, South Park's still one of my favorite rappers, despite whatever he's going through and all that shit. But he's just always been one of my favorite rappers. It is what it is. Yeah, South Park Mexican, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. You know?
Man, we need to just bring the homie in, man.
You know? But I'm just saying, it is what it is. But
we need to get the homie a chair, man.
Hey, shout out to you know what's crazy though? Not SPM, but actually Fileto. When we first started, that was his engineer. Like he rapped on Hustle Town. He rapped on a couple of like SPM's really like big tracks. But he was a producer, and he's the one that like he was our first major feature. We got it off of MySpace. We fucking flew him out here from MySpace. And he only wanted, I think at the time when we got him out here, he just wanted like a quad of some tree, like 7 grams of some tree, and to play for his plane ticket. Like he's like, just get me out there, dog, and throw me a quad, like type shit, you know, like yeah, dog.
That's
like,
one for the books for sure.
But the thing is my whole point of this is that like that fool really like helped us and put us on and like gamed us up as far as like he took us back to Houston. Like we flew him down here, we did the music, we like built the relationship. Hella strong bond. Like he fucking ended up staying with our partner Shine for like a month before we ended up going back to Houston with them. Right. So when we went back to Houston with them, he took us to the actual dope house facility. Like we fucking met.
Plug this with Lucky. We did the drink sip because of Fileto.
We met fucking SPM's mom. Like she was like the main one or his sister, the one that was in there that was running Dope House at that time. The main DJ in there. Like that. It was a dope. To experience. Like, you know what I'm saying? To like actually get a tour of the fucking shit and see. They had their own shit where they printed their own CDs. They had their own big ass CD maker and fucking all the blank CDs, and they printed their own labels and did their own like. So it was all in house. So if you can imagine at that time, dog, CDs at that time $20, $18.99. Like when we used to go to warehouse or go to fucking the CD store. Yeah, and if you're even just a fucking 1,000 at 20, like you know what I'm saying, that's fucking 20,000. And bands. You know you're doing quadruple that amount. You know what I'm saying? But
that's how South Park and them, the backstory. That's how they got the deal with Universal's, because they did the sound scam. You know, because back in the day you could do your rum.
Yeah.
And every time someone bought your CD, you beeped it, and then you fuck around. They were selling like 100,000 out the trunk, but 100,000 CDs at $20, $15 a wop. it's 150 bands, or I don't know what there might be.
No,
millions. I don't know.
In the millions, dog. You sold 100,000.
Start selling CDs like that. It's a wrap. Like, you know what I mean? And
bro, like,
I think that's our formula. We kind of came off that. Like, well, shit, if they did it, we gonna do it like that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, is there anything else you got going on that you want to let everybody know before we wrap shit up? That you want to let them know, like what you got going on, or?
No, not really, man. Just tune in with me, you know, on the music.
And you back, huh? You gonna fuck them up,
I'm back in
the
city. You know, I'm back in the city, man.
Make sure you follow him on Instagram. Go look him up on YouTube. BRIMZ on YouTube. Subscribe to his page. Go check him out. Go check all his music out, and give the homie a follow and fuck with him. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Let me ask you this before we shut it down. Like, for the upcoming, you know, say there's a rapper that's one of your fans, and he wants to start rapping now. What advice would you give him, and what would you tell him that you know, the do's and the don'ts, or like what would your best advice be to that artist right now?
You know, my best advice to that artist would be to follow the formula. And like, you know, the formula right now is go in the studio, make a song, and then put the video out, and then see what it does. If it doesn't do good, you know, try it again. You know what I'm saying? But just keep up with the trend. Like,
let me ask you this,
you know
though.
What I'm saying?
What if they don't have the ability as far as the budget to shoot a video or to record in a dope ass studio or something like that? What would you tell them then? Like, what would you be like? Hey, but they're trying to do this music. You know what I'm saying? What would your advice to them be? I
would tell them to get to get a job. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not
trying to be funny, but like, man, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Like, don't dream about this shit. Like treat it like a business. You feel me? So in order to run a business, you need to be able to put money into it. So if you don't have money, go get some money. You know what I'm saying? Or however you can. You know, like if it has to be.
So stack up first.
Yeah.
Stack up first. Get your paper right. Get a business, not a business, but get like a bank account. You know what I'm saying? Go get some money to get 10, 20,000 in that shit before you want to become a rapper.
And invest in yourself. I think if you're not willing to invest in your own self, ain't nobody else gonna invest in you. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta invest in your motherfucking self.
20 is a tease, but but it's a startup. You feel me?
20, you can still, you know, you can that at least able to, you can get your image right. You can, you know, afford studio time at that point. Even maybe get a feature, you know, a little, you know, $1,000, $2,000 feature that'll help, a little startup kit. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Say, like, get you a little startup kit.
And you want to have enough money to where you can do all that and still have a nice bag left. Now, if you have $10,000 saved up, you don't go and spend that whole fucking $10,000.
Yeah.
You want to save up enough to where you can have enough to where you have 20 put away, but your plan right now is 8 or 7. Or even 10, maybe half.
Whatever it is.
But don't go and spend the whole bag, bro.
Don't put all your chips into one basket.
Yes,
you know?
So like you got to get to a point of where you got enough money to where you can pay to play, but still have enough money to where you can pay to lay, if you feel me.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, pay to play. And what I mean by that is you can put you can go do your shit and still rest a little bit, not having to, go bust all these moves. Now you're back down to zero and you're fucking scrambling. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do next now? Or now you gotta stop and go back to fucking work and not follow. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Jimo, and if you get a jumpsuit, make 3 fits out that motherfucker, man. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do.
If you go wear
make that shit, basically stretch that shit, man.
If you got the chrome heart pants and shit that cost you 10 bands, wear the motherfuckers 3 days in a row. Give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You
know what I'm saying? You got 40 views on the last one. Get a new 40. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it is.
If I could give you any advice, don't buy a fucking $10,000 jumpsuit, man. Go get the $1,000 jumpsuit, the $500 one, and you work it up till you get there. Now, when you got $100,000 put away and you want to go buy a $10,000 Louis suit, that's the time to do it.
And also, I think a good advice is don't like the suit because the suit costs that money.
Yeah.
If you don't like Gucci, don't wear it.
Exactly.
And I don't like.
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah,
like
I
the worst
agree with
thing
that.
I
I
bought.
agree
Like
with
fuck,
Don't
if
do
I
something
shout
you
out
can't keep up
Balenciaga
with, you know?
and shit. If they, I doubt they see this shit. But I bought Balenciagas. Them motherfuckers are the worst uncomfortable shoe. That shit's way too bigger than my foot. I'll never buy them again. Like,
and don't let people convince you can have a little bit of it.
And
Don't
I just
have
bought
it at
'cause
all.
It was dope,
Like,
and everybody else had. I'll be real. I was like, oh, I kind of like those. And I'm like, that's the worst.
There's times where there's shit that I wear where I could have a fucking $5 white tee or a $5 AAA or a $10 AAA tee on it and still feel just as fresh as if I had a fucking $100 tee on her. That's like, I feel like it's how you also carry yourself.
Yes, sir.
And the energy and how you present yourself as a person compared to when you don't have that energy or you're not that guy or you feel that you're not. So you got to cover yourself and shit to make you almost get accepted by others.
That's true.
And then you're getting
That's a real
the
thing.
acceptance is getting from other people who feel like you. And that's like the blind leading the blind almost. You know what I'm saying? Because the real motherfucker that's the businessman, like where we just came from, the dude that owns Stardust and this and
Talk
that
to him.
and 10, he's not in all that.
Yeah.
He's
It's
in a,
inspiring,
he's in a regular tee, he's in some fucking Levi's, some Vans, and his hat that reps his brand.
Exactly.
But he just pulled up in a fucking $120,000 Lexus truck. You know what I'm saying?
That's boss shit.
So
Yeah.
don't always get it twisted, bro. Sometimes people who have money don't look like money.
That's it.
Not always. And then the people who look like money, majority of the time are
got the
broke,
Man.
looking like that. They just look like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's really the best advice right there for any upcoming artist. You know
Real
what I'm
shit.
saying?
Real shit.
All that shit right there.
Nah, but it was good catching up with you, bro. I think
shit.
this was long overdue. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying?
sir.
We've been meaning to chop it up and just, you know how it is, especially as we get older and the time that we have available as we get older, it's not so available. You know what I'm saying?
No real shit.
All our kids doing shit, all our stuff doing shit. So like
No,
I
and
said,
that's
it
a
was
dope thing to see. Like, I mean, obviously we all grown. We've known each other for a long time, just doing music. It's dope to see you being a good pops is the best thing to see. Obviously, we're all street motherfucker and do whatever. But the most thing I always see the people that I always like to see when they take care of their kids and they take care of their fam. So salute on that, man.
Yeah,
real shit,
same
man.
to you, bro.
Real
Same
shit,
to you,
Well,
bro.
shit, shout out to the Bodega for having us here too, man. Make
Yes,
sure you
sir.
check them out.
Shout
I'm pretty
out to
sure if you
Bodega.
can't see all behind here, whatever, they got the best exotic snacks and blunt wraps and everything else you
Come
can
get your
possibly
honey
think of.
pack. You
You
need
know,
that
get your
honey
honey
pack.
pack and shit. And
Right
it
here,
is what
dog.
it is. Salute you. Thank you.
Money.